restricted by the rules of a game. Like, there should be more options available to you that aren't for no good reason. You all know what I'm talking about. Why can't you marry the same gender in Harvest Moon? And I guess the reason should be obvious. Granted, this is all speculation, but I have a few theories. These games are made with a younger audience in mind, and maybe there's fear of homophobic parents not allowing their children to play games with any sort of LGBT characters, which could result in lost sales. Or the series is from Japan and gay marriage isn't legal there, so maybe it wouldn't be considered a possibility in the first place. Or maybe the developers just haven't really thought about it and want to keep the romance side of things heterosexual, as the majority of players are straight, and you can just choose to be a boy or girl depending on who you want to marry. Not to mention, many players aren't even playing the game to romance anybody and only want to focus on the farming. Whatever the reason, people have been questioning this for literally years, to the point where farming simulators inspired by Harvest Moon make certain you can marry whichever gender you prefer, regardless of your own gender. I'm not just talking about Stardew Valley, World's Dawn also did this, and I thank both of those games for it. Now, I'm not trying to say that Harvest Moon / Story of Seasons games are homophobic. I'm just saying that it's bullshit, so here are my top 10 Harvest Moon bachelorettes I would have married if I could. Number 10. Lily from Harvest Moon Sunshine Islands. What's that, you say? Treasure hunting in a fancy dress seems like a bad idea? Well, Lily would disagree. She comes to town after you raise the volcano island to look for treasure. She stands out from the typical island dwellers due to her appearance and the way she talks. She's the kind of woman I really admire. She does a job that can get rather dangerous, but looks fabulous doing it, and her adventurous spirit can be quite captivating. As she was a new addition to the characters already in place from Island of Happiness like Will was, if I had been able to choose between them, I likely would have chose her just because of how cool she is. Lily, I wish it could have been. Number 9. Georgia from Harvest Moon The Tale of Two Towns. Alright, I know conventional internet wisdom states that horse girls are crazy, but I think the idea of stereotyping a hobby as harmless as horseback riding is silly to say the least. Honestly, I personally found horseback riding really fucking boring when I tried it, but whether or not the stereotype is true IRL, that certainly isn't the case for this young lady. Georgia lives in Bluebell with her father and helps him with his animal shop. She's known for being a hard worker and wants to become a veterinarian someday. She loves horses, and she's so heckin' adorable that I'm officially declaring her to be the kawaii cowgirl. Trust me, it'll catch on. For real, she is so cute, even though she'd be very embarrassed if you told her so, which is also cute. The only problem I see with her, though, is that she and Kana don't get along. I find that kind of disappointing because they both wear absolutely bitchin' hoodies. At least, I think they're hoodies. It's kinda hard to tell, but they're sleeveless and look pretty fucking rad. Okay, point is, these two need to team up and use their sick fashion sense to do great justice and make long-sleeve shirts under short-sleeve shirts cool again. Please. Number 8. Iraha from Harvest Moon A New Beginning. How could you go wrong with dating the local blacksmith? Well, you can't, considering the fact that befriending Iraha is essential to making better tools. So, while you're at it, you may as well try to marry her. Her determination to make it as a master blacksmith is admirable, especially after you find out that she ran away from home to accomplish this goal because her father was a douche canoe that wanted her to become a housewife instead. Striking out on your own with no family to support you is pretty brave. She's a true example of a strong, independent woman. Truth be told, even if I could marry her, I think she's too good for me. Number 7. Silica from Story of Seasons Trio of Towns. You know, I'm super lazy, and yet I'm very disappointed that I will never reach Silica's level of chill. She doesn't give a fuck about anything because doing so would require too much energy. Although, I am surprised that she can stay so relaxed when her twin sister Ilica is such a bitch. Anyway, this sleepy young priestess not only has fabulous purple hair, but she's also magic. Sort of. Apparently, she can predict the weather and see auras. She also has some knowledge of medicinal herbs and can treat ailments based on a person's aura. She doesn't even charge money for it. So, she's chill as fuck, hella pretty, smart, and generous? She's my kind of girl. Number 6. Sabrina from Harvest Moon, Island of Happiness, and Sunshine Islands. Alright, glasses, now we're talking. Sabrina and I would get along so well. We both like reading, we both hate spicy food and junk ore, we both spend most of our time indoors. The only difference is that she's reasonably intelligent and I'm, well, me. Also, her dad is rich. Not that I'm a gold digger, but let's just say the recent adpocalypse put a bit of a damper on my earnings this month. Oddly enough, Sabrina is the rival for Vaughn. So, you're saying if I didn't marry Vaughn, she would've? But if I chose to marry her, Vaughn would never get married. Wait, I have the solution. Threesome. Now there's something you'll never see in a Harvest Moon game. Number 5. Lily from Story of Seasons. She's so cute. She's so cute. Lily is Oaktown's local weather forecaster. She's super popular and just about everybody likes her, but that's not the reason why getting her attention might be difficult. She's so busy with her job that she's out of town for most of the day during the work week. But hey, there's no shame in being focused on your career, and according to one of her events, it's a career she worked hard to have. She studied to learn weather forecasting when originally she was just an entertainer. Though, the thing I find a bit off-putting about her is that she has no experience with dating. That's not really a bad thing, but apparently if you play as a guy and date her, she ends up losing sleep over being so excited about dating you. Jesus Christ, even I didn't end up like that over my first boyfriend, and I can be very obsessive. She says it's because she has little experience with boys due to attending an all-girls school. So it only leaves me to wonder if she'd have such an extreme reaction to dating a girl. I guess we'll never know. Number 4. Raina from Harvest Moon, The Tale of Two Towns, and Licorice from Story of Seasons. Much like Cam and Camille, Raina and Licorice are the same person. Again, the name change may surprise you, but in both cases it was really just the translation in Story of Seasons being more faithful to the original game. Yes, their names really were Camille and Licorice in the Japanese version of Tale of Two Towns. It just seems to be the case that when the games were published in North America by Natsume, some names were changed, whereas Xseed seems to mostly stick to the names already in place. You can sort of think of it as Natsume being the 4Kids TV to Xseed's Funimation. Anyway, Licorice is a botanist who originally lived in Konohana with her uncle. She studied the plants in the mountains there and eventually completed her research before moving to Oaktown to expand her research in other areas. She can be socially awkward and hard to approach, but she is very gentle when it comes to plants. So, yes, finding gifts she likes is super easy because she loves flowers, go figure. Although, Camille is a flowerist, and isn't it odd that they both ended up moving to the same town? They'd probably get along really well. Whoa. Yeah, maybe I should stop shipping things that cannot be, but if this game had rivals, they'd be perfect for each other. You know what, never mind. Licorice is pretty cute in Tale of Two Towns, but I really appreciate how her design was updated in Story of Seasons. I have no idea what these detached sleeves are supposed to be. I mean, they look cool on Vocaloids, but not here so much. In Story of Seasons, the sleeves are attached to a much nicer looking dress, and damn if Licorice doesn't look fabulous wearing it. Only problem I have with her is... Licorice is a shit tier candy. Argue with me all you want, but it tastes like garbage because that's where it belongs, in a garbage can. But like, Licorice is still a cool bachelorette. Don't question me. Number 3. Yuri from Harvest Moon, A New Beginning. Yeah, her name is a little on the nose in this case, or maybe not, depending, but forget your porn collection because Yuri is worth way more than Rule 34. The funny thing is, the first time I saw her, I thought she was a guy, and here I am always complaining that I get mistaken for a guy sometimes. Does that make me a hypocrite? Well, I won't blame myself too much, seeing as she's one of the few girls in this series that dresses in what I would consider gender-neutral clothes. Yuri's a tailor, so she could probably wear prettier clothes if she wanted to. But I guess she just doesn't want to. I find that pretty relatable, actually. Some girls prefer pants over skirts. Although Yuri is another socially awkward type, something about her really stands out to me. Maybe it's the fact that she seems so different from other girls in the series. The way she gets absorbed in her work, how it takes a long time to get her to open up after meeting her. No wait, I've got it! She's the human version of Sable from Animal Crossing. They even both have a family member that encourages them to get better at interacting with people. Now, I know what you're thinking. PML, doesn't it look bad if you say that a girl you'd want to marry is the human version of a hedgehog? Well, my response would be, at least I'm not as bad as the Sonic fandom. Yuri, I'm sorry for all the things I've said. Number 2. Kumari from Story of Seasons Trio of Towns. She's adorable. Even when she's angry, she's adorable. Often upbeat and sometimes crude, Kumari is without a doubt my favorite marriage candidate in Trio of Towns. But she's not just a good marriage candidate, she can also be a very supportive friend. One of her friend events is about her and her father celebrating your victory after winning a festival. She says she'll cheer for you and that she hopes your dad will realize how passionate you are about farming. Hell yeah, suck it, Daryl. I don't need you, I've got a girlfriend that believes in me. She's the best. The only thing that bothers me is the fact she tries so hard to be ladylike and proper, even though her normal behavior is more boyish. Come on, Kumari, I know you're a waitress, but just be yourself. She's got spirit, and she shouldn't be afraid to speak her mind just because it could be seen as impolite. Girl, you're awesome the way you are. Never doubt that. Number 1, and you probably guessed this if you saw the Top 10 Bachelors video, Tina from Harvest Moon: A New Beginning. Oh my god, I love her. The second I saw her, I knew she was perfect. I mean, I judged a book by its cover, and it turns out she's just as rad on the inside as she is on the outside. I'm not gonna lie, her design caught my eye immediately. Stripes everywhere, a hairstyle that just works, the 4-leaf clovers, that neckerchief, the fact that she can actually look good in orange. Fucking marry me. Also worth knowing, Tina is a journalist, but not the shite kind that fucks with innocent people's ad revenue. Fuck you, Wall Street Journal. She's a bit of a gossip, but that kind of comes with the territory. She also loves helping others, but she can work herself too hard sometimes. She's energetic and always on the move, which can be a bit of a problem because you might have trouble finding her. I mean, look at her schedule. Depending on the weather, she pretty much spends all day just running around in random places. What on earth is she doing? No wait, dumb question. Pokemon Go, right? Well, whatever. Tina is and will likely always be my favorite Harvest Moon Bachelorette. You know, if you played Harvest Moon games as a kid, the idea of marrying the same gender probably didn't even cross your mind. When you're young, it makes sense. If you're a girl, you marry a boy. If you're a boy, you marry a girl. That's what most media shows anyway. It's one of those things you just accept and don't really think about until you start to grow up and get exposed to the truth that not everything is so straightforward. Pun intended. At least that was the case for me. I'm just saying it wouldn't hurt to be a little bit more inclusive than having one marriage candidate that changes gender depending on the gender you chose. Now, I know some of you are wondering, where the heck is the Trio of Towns review? Well, there was a slight technical issue. Expect delays. Besides, there are other things I can review, and you know, my birthday is coming up next month. I also need to mentally prepare myself for how fucking old I'm getting. What I'm saying is just chill. So if you want to see what's next, subscribe, and the next review will be posted soon. I promise. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.